Okay, so growing up in the 2000s and the 2010s with superstars such as JLS, Justin Bieber and One Direction, how did these male pop stars affect you?
I think in school, there was a big thing, especially with like girl friendships. They all kind of had like their person. So like in the band, so someone was like a Harry girl, someone was a Louis girl.
Yeah.
You know, and you kind of formed friendships around that. So like people would you'd sort of talk about it with your friends and be like, oh my god, did you see this? Like, did you see this video? Did you see that video? Or like, have you heard this song? It was kind of, I think for a lot of people, more about the friendships than the actual band. And then they kind of just like formed this attachment to these people through their friendships. So I think, and then as well, there was obviously the whole like Bieber fever. I remember everyone was just like obsessed.
Yeah. Like I remember seeing people with like Mrs. Styles hoodies or Mrs. Bieber. Which was such a thing back then.
And I think as well, like it was like kind of pushed on like younger girls as well through like advertising. Like obviously those products were available with like the whole Mr. or like Mrs. Styles, you know.
Yeah.
But they were like everywhere as well, like toothpaste, toothbrushes. I remember they had ones where it would like sing One Direction songs to you. So it was like everywhere you went, it was like you had to have it's like it was like pushed onto us as much as we were like interested in them.
Yeah. Who did you like the most?
I was a Harry girl, but I was also a Niall girl a little bit, because they had the two, like they had the whole like personas that they would like sort of put on people, where it was like Niall was the cheeky, you know, like Louis was the, I actually don't remember what but like like Zayn was the bad boy, Harry was the womanizer. It was insane.
So why do you think you were like Louis kind of obsessed with Harry Styles? Because obviously I know you now, and that has not gone away for you for Harry Styles.
I don't think it's the same kind of like obsession. I feel like for me now it's more of a like a nostalgic thing, because I was so like infatuated when I was a kid. And then now that I can actually like go and see him in concert, I do still enjoy his music, and I do still enjoy One Direction music, but from like a nostalgic point of view. But like the going to his concerts now and stuff, it's more about just like kind of doing what I couldn't do as a child, you know.
What were you like with around him when you were younger? Like what was your reactions?
Oh, I used to try and play it off so much. Like I was like I wanted to be like this cool girl who didn't care about Harry Styles and One Direction, but I was so obsessed. Like secretly I was just like, oh my god,
playing it cool, like, oh my gosh, like if Harry bumps into me, like he'll love you.
And the thing is though, I don't even know where that came from. Like it was just this like I feel like it's something that every kid has kind of gone through, but with a different thing. They just kind of get obsessed with something, and then they're like, oh my god, like I need to be like this, or I need to have, you know. But I think it's because all of my friends were doing the same thing. You know, that I was like, I love Harry Styles, like this is my thing.
Do you think like, you know, the obsession affected your own relationships from having like such a huge obsession with them at like that particular age, or like do you think it like kind of like replaced any, especially like, you know, like teenage years, where that's kind of like, you know, you're having your like first like kind of non-serious relationship. It's just like a bit of like innocent little relationships. What did you think you like missed out on, or if it like replaced it?
I don't think so for me. I can see how other people like in like extreme cases have like gone that kind of way. I think the only way it may have like affected relationships, I think it was in a good way, probably like friendships, you know, like in that sort of respect. Like I actually made more friends from, even at the start of uni,
Yeah.
like I actually made a lot of friends just because I would notice like little Harry Styles posters in their rooms, like at Freshers, and I was like, oh my god, do you listen to Harry Styles as well?
Yeah.
It's like he's such a big person, but like, you know, it was like a little thing, and I'd be like, oh my god, do you like, you know? But I do see where people, like, I've seen it online a lot where they've like kind of gotten so attached to this person that they won't let anyone else in. But no, I feel like for me that was just it's too far. I can kind of bring myself back. That mine's more of a like a thing with the music as well. You know what I mean? Like I actually do genuinely listen to their songs and stuff.
Have you ever cried or screamed at a concert?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. It's embarrassing.
Both or one of each?
Both. At the same time. Like crying. Like I don't know, because I think for me, like I could never go to their concerts as a kid. Partly my own fault because I used to try and play it off to my parents that I wasn't like a crazy One Direction fan.
Yeah.
But then like now that I can go and that I have been to see him, I literally like I'm like, oh my god, this is so like this is everything that I wanted as a kid. Do you know what I mean? And it's more of a like an emotional thing, but like and as well like some of the songs like that I've listened to as like now that I'm like a lot older, his newer stuff is a lot more emotional. So I think like that like combination. And like the screaming, like it's Harry Styles, you know.
Like it's the Harry Styles.
It's Harry Styles. It comes at the concert, you know. Everyone's screaming, like
it's like a collective thing.
Yeah. And I was so close, like So hello, hi.
Did you ever go up to like obviously did you queue to get
Yeah.
I see you nodding.
Yeah. So this is actually like a crazy story. So in first year of uni, I had like a group of friends who were all, they had been like serious Harry fans for a long time, like from like the start. They were from London and would go to a lot of London shows. And they would queue, to like the X Factor days, and she texted us one day and she was like, Leanna, they have, like a pop-up where you can get free tickets for Harry Styles.
Oh my god.
For his like one night only show. And we both tried to get tickets but like online and we couldn't. She's like, you need to be there, it's like a secret location, you queue up, and there's a chance you'll get a free ticket. So I ring off work, I ring in sick, which I don't recommend. It wasn't a good idea, but I rang in sick from work and I went all the way to Shoreditch to sit in a queue all day in the blazing sun. And we won the free tickets. And then I had an essay due actually. And I typed my essay in the queue sitting in Brixton in the rain outside of the O2.
Oh god.
And like there was like reporters coming around and like asking us questions like, why would you do this? And we were like, I actually don't know, we just wanted to be at the front,
just
was it the experience.
Be able to see, or was it like a bit of like him being able to see you?
No, I think because I'd never seen him in concert before, I was like determined to be at the front just because I was like, you know, these tickets were free, what are the chances, like I'm gonna try and see him like up close. If it never happens again, then I've seen him once. I know
for me, I used to queue up so much. It's not for boy bands but for girl bands, and I literally I had to get barrier all the time just so I could interact with them. I
mean, like
I know a lot of people 100 do that. I definitely did that.
I think
it's like different reasons why, for sure, because yours is more, I guess, like yours is a different answer to mine, but it's quite interesting.
I think I can see why people want to like interact with them and everything, because if you are given the chance, you are going to talk to them. But I would just like, I
just
remember,
even like a little smile. It's like, Oh my gosh.
And like, yeah, no, you convince yourself sometimes, like when you're there, like, oh my god, they just looked at me.
Yeah.
Like they just looked, and it's like,
yeah.
why do you like it's eye contact? You know what I mean? They're not like, you know, they're just a person, but you sit and you're like, oh my god, Harry Styles just looked at us.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, it's so crazy. But yeah, I think every time I'd ever seen him in concert, I was like, no, but I wouldn't actually talk to him. Like, I wouldn't actually want him to talk to us, because I just don't know what I'd say. And then I also like kind of bring myself back to reality and think, now that I think about it, I've looked at my lock screen on my phone, and it is a picture of Harry Styles at a concert recently where I did convince myself he was, not convince myself, but he is actually like looking at my phone. So